Hi, I'm Richard Bellis, and this video is about a method for fostering both creativity and efficiency when creating 30 or more cues for a film. Today there are thousands of books, blogs, doctoral dissertations, and research papers all dealing with creativity. And this is to be expected because creativity is one of the grand mysteries of life. It has been an attribute of human beings since the dawn of man, and yet today, when diseases have been miraculously cured and man has been sent into space, we are still speculating about what creativity is and how it works. Greek mythology tells us that there are 9 muses and that they are the daughters of Zeus, who is known as the father of gods and men, and Mnemosyne, whose name means memory personified. And she is notable because from her name the term mnemonics is derived. And mnemonics is the study of systems to improve memory. And it turns out that recall, whether conscious, unconscious, or subconscious, is an important component of creativity. The current thinking is that rather than the 2 hemispheres of the brain serving different and separate purposes, the left hemisphere being responsible for logic, reason, math, etc., and the right hemisphere being the artistic, creative side, there's a significant interaction or lateralization between the two. So once I was hired for this mini-series, I started thinking about the music. My initial thoughts were along the lines of something of Bernard Herrmann's motivic style. And not imitating Herrmann's music, but just the motivic style he often used. I also needed a theme for the main title sequence, and I wanted a dark, ominous interval to start my theme. But I didn't want to use a tritone. Tritones were already overused in this genre. So one morning I stepped out of the shower, dried off, picked up the hairdryer, increase the speed. Wait a minute. Let me hear that again. I ran to the piano. A major 7th. Inspiration. The spark. I had the interval. Now, what part of the chord should it start on? The root? The 3rd? Inspiration, the hairdryer, gave me the interval and initiated a search of my memory archives, with the search criteria being mystery horror, major 7th, and Bernard Herrmann. The search of my personal archives brought relevant memories and information to the desktop of my mental computer, ready for examination and reorganization, resulting in By the time you finish these cues, you will have a commanding knowledge of this music and will be ready for flying. And this is the time when, if you follow this schedule, you'll amaze yourself with how many minutes per day you can turn out. There is no looking for new instruments in this phase, no inventing new motifs or themes. This is the time for the assembly line. Not what should I write for this scene, but rather, what should I use for this scene? Should I use the melody or just the accompaniment I created? This is the kind of question to be asked. This stage of the score creation is responsible not only for speed, but for continuity. So this is what it might look like on a 21-day schedule. 4 days of R&D, 2.5 days of ease in, 9.5 days of important, 4 days of flying, and 1 day of cleanup.